Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special edition today of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates, brought to you by DigitalCrackNetwork.com. I'm your host, Punch305, and with me, as always, old school gaming specialist, Uncle Willy.
Not always, but most of the time.
You're always here in spirit. Please.
Well, if I'm there having spirits, that's a good thing.
Well, you know what? There you go. That coin went off.
What can I tell you? I'm an important guy.
Well, you are an important guy. I always told you that, man. Everyone tells you that.
Well, they need to stop. I need some time. And now I'm going to get it because I muted.
Jeez. But either way, this segment is brought to you by guys D2D. Use promo code MIAGeeks10 to save 10% on your next purchase order. That's MIAGEEKS10. All in caps, description down below. Copy the promo code, click on the link, put it on the shopping cart, and that's 10% saved there, guys. And as always, make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button just to know when we come up with this amazing news, which is 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And right now, we're doing one today because it's a special occasion, guys. Today, Willy, he's going to bring up what happened in BlizzCon 2021. So I can follow some of this, but Willy can go a little more in depth into it because there's more to it than I think. And I can't wait to hear Uncle Willy's thoughts about the games, predictions about certain ones. And right now, this is Willy's floor. Willy.
Not entirely, because I'm hoping that you at least try to ask questions.
Oh no, I'm going to ask all the questions
for at least 2 of them. I don't expect you to chime in too much on World of Warcraft because that's not your jam.
No, I get
But
it.
at least with Diablo and Overwatch, since you have history with both,
yes,
you'll want to ask some questions.
Definitely. And
don't make this the Willy show.
No, I'm not planning to make the Willy show, but it's going to be right now Willy blowing my mind today with this because I need to know everything. And let's get to it. Let's get to it, dude.
We shall see. So, all right. Blizzconline started on Friday. I had hoped to join Punisher on the podcast to talk about at least what was said during the opening presentation, but real life sometimes gets in the way. So, it gave me time to get more in depth.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to tackle them in order of importance to me.
Okay, that sounds
Which means
fair.
that the first thing that we're going to talk about is Diablo. Not World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft is my number 2.
All right.
Diablo is king. Please, NSA, don't take that the wrong way. I'm not a devil worshiper. But we got 3 announcements, and one of them is okay. I'll talk about it, but the 2 big ones.
Okay.
First, I'm going to talk about Diablo 4 just to get that out of the way, because we didn't get too much info on it other than the announcement of a new class, which is the Rogue. You only played Diablo 3, correct?
Yeah, I only played Diablo 3, and that was at your house, actually.
Yes. Diablo 1, the Rogue goes all the way back to Diablo 1.
Oh, okay.
This is a classic character, and it's your first appearance back, which is very much wanted. So that rounds out the characters, the character classes you can choose for Diablo 4.
All right. Here's my question, though.
Okay.
I got one question, though. What's so special about the Rogue, though?
Oh, I mean, she is basically a master of stealth and quick attacks.
Oh.
Getting into it. Well, I mean, how much you want me to get into it? I got to ask you that for all these things. There's so much information.
Well, it's not only for me as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the listeners know a lot about this, but it's kind of like an overall, so we can have an understanding of this Rogue character.
All right. So she's actually the 4th class that was listed. The first 3 that were announced, I believe, in 2009, were the Druid, the Barbarian, and what was the 3rd one? I forgot. Druid, the Barbarian, and the Sorceress. I'm sorry.
The Sorceress, yeah.
Yes. But now the 4th class being the Rogue. She is, I mean, you see her throw a lot of bow attacks, so she is going to be mostly ranged. But she does have some up-close dagger attacks, it looks like. And I will say that the trailer they used to announce the Rogue was pretty gruesome.
Oh.
I know you don't know anything about these things, but um, one of the hallmarks of PvP play
Okay.
in Diablo is how you're rewarded with the person's ear.
Oh, like kind of like a Vietnam type of thing.
I wasn't in Vietnam, so I couldn't confirm or deny that. But yeah, I mean, it's when you play, especially in Diablo 2. I did a lot. I did do PvP with my kids and with other people, with other friends in Diablo 2. And when you kill another person, you're rewarded with their ear.
Jeez.
It's just a trophy.
Okay.
And so during the presentation of the rogue, you see her talking to a priest, and as she's talking to him, she's putting ears on the pew that he's sitting on.
Wow.
And he grabs one of those ears and puts it in his trophy case, which is gross. But since you're familiar with Diablo 3 and not so much Diablo 2, consider a rogue like a mix between the demon hunter
Okay.
and the assassin. Meaning that demon hunter has a lot of range attacks, a lot of bow attacks, including multi-arrow attacks that fall from the sky that looks really cool and slaughters people.
Sweet.
And you do have traps. It looks like you have traps like the assassin does, so people can walk into it and they basically kill themselves. And she's very quick. Again, ranged and melee, so she can throw some ranged attacks at you and then suddenly jump up close and slash you a couple times.
Because reasons.
Because rogue.
Yes.
So that's a great addition. It's only 4. I say rounding out, but I'd like to think there's going to be at least one more starting class. Recently, all the games have had multiple classes, and they've had 5. Then they add more later on.
I see.
So that's what we got from Diablo 4. That's good. That's all fun and whatnot. No release date yet. I was talking to cousin Jose, and he thinks I'm being way too optimistic when I think that. Oh, actually, not to Jose. I was talking to my son on this one.
Okay.
Because my son is my Diablo go-to, and he thinks I'm being overly optimistic when I sit there hoping that Blizzard goes back to the days of when it's done, which used to be their go-to answer when people ask them, "Hey, so when's the game going to come out?" When it's done.
Zuh.
I'd like to think that, because that would mean that they're working on making the game as good as it possibly can. But considering that Activision is still their daddy, I'm not hoping too much for that.
Okay, I'm kind of glad that you kind of snapped out of that. 'Cause I was going to tell you that's my job. I'm the optimistic guy here. Okay.
I'm not the optimistic one. I'm the cynic.
Okay, I'm the optimistic guy. That's why I'm here. Like
we all have our defined roles. You're
Exactly.
the optimist. I'm the cynic. Joe's the doubter, and Lewis tells us all to shut up.
Technically, yeah, that sounds right. It is.
So I'll stay with my cynicism.
Perfect.
Yes, I'd like for it to be a when it's done situation that when we get this thing to look the way we want it to, you'll see it. But whatever. Either way, Diablo 4, I'm happy. Now, the one that I'm really happy about and at the same time horrified is Diablo 2 Resurrected.
I heard a lot of things about this.
Okay, you have heard me not shut up about this game for all the time that we've known each other.
Oh my god! Like
it
beyond.
is one of my top 3 games of all time. Like, I'm talking about better than Mario and Zelda.
Jeez.
That's my opinion, of course.
Of course.
This is one of the top 3 games of all time on my list. And the fact that I've been wanting this thing to be remastered, but after the shit show that was Warcraft 3 Reforged, I'm afraid. I'm very afraid.
I mean,
for those that don't know, and to give you a little bit of a history lesson on 2, Diablo 2 was released 20 years ago. And it is one of the most enduring games. People still play it to this day because it's that good of a game. Diablo 3 was great, but not as good as Diablo 2. Because Diablo 2, in addition to being better as a dungeon crawler than Diablo 3, you know, subjectively, I would say. So most people would agree. It's a lot darker. Like, Diablo 2 is, like, dark. And Diablo 4 is hoping to be as dark. Hopefully a little more. Hopefully. But, yeah, they're remastering this. And I found out, okay, when they gave the announcement, okay, we're remastering this, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, the cynic in me came out screaming. And the only thing I would say is, you bastards fucked up Warcraft 3, because they did. And so hearing Jay Allen Brack talk about this, and hearing all the things he was saying, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna fuck this up again. But then when they did the deep dive on Diablo 2 Resurrected, I found out something very interesting.
What?
Do you remember? This was a few weeks back on one of our podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about how Activision had acquired Vicarious Visions. Wait, was it Activision that acquired them?
Maybe.
I'm gonna find out right now because I may be talking out of my ass, which I do very regularly. No, it was okay. It was Activision's. Of course it was. Well, you're so stupid. They are responsible for the remasters of Crash Bandicoot and Tony Hawk. So they know what they're doing. And we actually talked about how Blizzard acquired them. Well, now we know why. Are you there?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm still here.
I'm
just listening. No, trust me, I'm in full listening mode right now.
Vicarious Visions is handling the remaster. So, I can at least say the remaster's in good hands.
Okay.
Now, they're talking about how they're redoing all the FMV sequences, how they're revamping the visuals, because the visuals were 2D isometric, and they're talking about making it fully 3D.
Oh, okay. Now I see.
Like the same perspective, the same feel visually, but with 3D instead of just 2D based sprites. All right, okay, sure. And they're talking about some quality of life improvements. Not too many, I hope. But one of them that I heard that made me happy was a shared stash for the characters. Because you can have multiple characters, and having them share stuff that they pick up and loot is good.
Well, that's pretty neat. Okay.
Plus, you have more space. Yeah. One of the problems with dungeon crawlers like Diablo 2 is that you run out of space to carry all your loot. But okay. Bottom line, this is one that they have to nail. They have to get this one right.
So no ifs, ands, or buts. Technically, they need to get this one correct.
They have to get this one right. Again, they screwed up Warcraft 3 Reforged, and they got a lot of shit over it. I guarantee you, they're gonna get massive shit if they fuck this one up.
Oof.
Another thing they're talking about doing with it is that they're gonna give you updated visuals, but if you prefer the way it looked before, you can keep that look.
Oh, so you can have an either or look.
Yes.
Wow, that's badass.
And if you just don't want to play Diablo 2 Resurrected, they're committed to keeping the original Diablo 2 up and running, and make sure that it runs on newer computers. Which they sort of kind of do already, because Diablo 2 still works on Windows machines, on Windows 10 machines. But they're saying that because one of the problems that Warcraft 3 Reforged had is that if you had the original Warcraft 3 still running on your PC and you bought Warcraft 3 Reforged, it totally nuked your original Warcraft 3, would not let you play it.
Oh man.
Which is a dick move.
Oh, big time. Big time.
So okay, I don't want to get work. I don't want to get Diablo 2. Um, I don't want to get Diablo 2 resurrected, but I still want to play my copy of Diablo 2. All right, you're not going to nuke it. I'm happy. That's a good thing.
Very.
Still, that's the one that I'm most excited about. Then they did talk some about Diablo Immortal, which is the mobile MMO version of Diablo. I mean, listen, I like I told Jose, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna see what it's about. The moment I hit a huge wall that requires me to pay something, or if I see that the microtransactions get too overbearing, like to the point where like they're constantly telling me, "Hey, you should. Hey, you really should." They can kiss my ass. I know that they got to find a way to make their money, and this is how they want to do it. All right, go ahead and do it. As long as you don't fuck up the game, either 4 or 2 resurrected. As long as you don't fuck those up,
Yeah.
you can have your fun with Diablo Immortal. You know what? Knock yourself out. It's on mobile.
Yeah. Which I know you're not too big of a fan of that.
I am not. But it's unfair to go and say that there's no place for it. It's not my place to say what they can do with their own game. Just don't fuck up Diablo 4 or Diablo 2 Resurrected. That's my baby.
I pray they
Diablo
don't.
2 is my baby. Don't hurt my baby.
I pray they don't. That's my bottom line right there.
Well, we'll see. So that's Diablo. Now we'll get into World of Warcraft.
Ooh.
And this is the one where I know that you are like a babe in the woods. You know nothing about it. So I will try to explain it in a way that you'll understand. I don't want to sound condescending with that, but I do know that World of Warcraft is a lot. So, Shadowlands expansion came out late last year, and the big news is Shadowlands 9.1, which is basically the first expansion to I would call content expansion to Shadowlands.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to so okay. The Shadowlands expansion so far has been about you learning about the new areas you're exploring and the covenants that are in it. There's 4 covenants in Shadowlands, and it's just you getting to know all 4 of them and picking which one you're gonna fight alongside.
Yeah.
So you pick your covenant and you go from there. And the Shadowlands so far has been about fighting one dude the ultimate dude for that section.
Yeah.
And now 9.1, you're gonna get fighting towards the ultimate. Getting closer towards fighting the ultimate baddie, the jailer. All right. To do that, there's gonna be new Covenant campaigns. Very good, expanding the story some more. And the good thing about Shadowlands is that it's been a mix of meeting new people and coming across old people that were killed. Shadowlands is essentially the afterlife in the World of Warcraft universe.
Oh, okay.
There's hundreds of little realms within the afterlife, and the way it works is you're put in whatever region based on how you lived your life in the game. So if you were a good noble person, you go to Bastion. If you just you solved everything by battle, you went to Maldraxxus. If you were in touch with nature, you went to Ardenweald. And I guess if you were secretly a Victorian vampire, you went to Revendreth.
Well, there you go.
And I went to Revendreth, which I gotta say, it's hilarious. Like imagine Interview with a Vampire.
Okay.
Like the sections when he was going back and talking about his history,
yeah.
And you see those things that happened in the past.
Yeah.
Imagine all that, but everybody's wearing powdered wigs and have their collars popped.
No, 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 no.
Those are the Venthyr of Revendreth, and it is hilarious.
No, no, I can't, dude.
I laugh at just the sheer ridiculousness of it, because one of the things that I had to do during the campaign is set up what's called the Ember Court. The Ember Court is just a party. So yes, vampires like to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
I'm pretty
Cue
sure
Eddie
Eddie
Murphy.
Murphy. Yes.
Cue him.
Oh my god.
Yes, that. Imagine Eddie with a powdered wig and a pop collar. That's the Venthyr. But since we have to get closer towards finally defeating the jailer, we have to expand the story. And so far, during the story, we've seen current characters that have been imprisoned and a few characters that were dead, but are either helping or hindering us. Like people who are World of Warcraft veterans, hear the name Kelthus Sunstrider, and they're like, that fucker? Well, yeah, he's part of the Revendreth campaign.
Oh my god.
But it's not going to be just new story missions. They're actually going to open up a new area. Like there's going to be another zone called Korthia that we'll be able to go around and kill things in. There's going to be a new raid called the Sanctum of Domination, which has 10 bosses. And there's going to be a mega dungeon. Mega dungeon being a very large dungeon, has 8 bosses, almost like a raid. But it's dungeon, so it only requires 5 people, and it'll only be on the highest difficulty mythic. That's going to be fun. That one's called Tazavesh, the Veiled Market.
I'm telling you right now, these names. I'm gonna tell you right now, these names that WoW have are just freaking crazy, dude.
Listen, I goaded Jose once into just like looking at the lore of Warcraft, and he only put the tip in. He's like, I'm done. I'm done because there's so much lore. And yeah, all these names that you're hearing, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Like, yeah, you hear the jailer, that sounds like, okay, yeah, he sounds like an interesting guy. But, you hear things like Sylvanas Windrunner, and you're like, oh, wait, huh? What? Yeah. Kel'Thuzad, Uther the Lightbringer, Anduin Rin.
Yeah, these names for me are just
Vol'jin. My favorite character of them all is Bwonsamdi, who is basically the troll race has things called, they have Loa, which are like gods.
Okay.
Bwonsamdi is essentially the Loa of death. Like when you go to death, you meet him.
Oh, okay.
Trolls you'll find funny because they all have a Jamaican accent.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
That like I'm gonna just play some troll clips now. Play a Bwonsamdi clip right now.
Cha, what you doing here, man? It's not your time to pass on. Yet.
He is a trip. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff that you have to deal with in World of Warcraft. And I'm sorry that I'm dumping so much on you, but there is so much.
No, you have to educate me. That's why. That's how.
But the most important thing that people want to know is whether or not they're going to be able to start flying in Shadowlands.
Oh, okay.
And that's important because flying was a thing that only got introduced in the game for the first expansion, Burning Crusade.
Oh.
And it's something that became very popular and people wanted it everywhere. Eventually they put it just about everywhere, but they have this thing where every time they drop a new expansion, you can't fly in the new zones. You have to get around, by riding ground mounts, or if you're a total sadist, just by running, as a way of having you explore the world and whatnot. But as they start expanding upon the expansion, they eventually add flying to the zones, and that's what people wanted.
Okay.
Well, coming in 9.1, there will be flying.
Oh.
Now,
I'm sure everybody's excited right now for this.
one of the most annoying things about flying in the last few expansions is that in order to gain flying, you have to elevate your reputation with multiple factions. Now they're saying that in this case, no, you won't have to get revered with all these factions. You just got to complete a quest line, and once you complete the quest line, you can unlock flying. That'll make people happy.
Oh, very.
What you will not get is the Flight Master's whistle. Another thing that you have is while you're in the middle of a zone, in the last two expansions, so Legion and Battle for Azeroth, you had a thing called the Flight Master's whistle. You'd blow that whistle, and you get picked up and sent to the nearest, Flight Master.
Oh, like Zelda.
So the nearest flight point.
Not really.
Something like, but different. This is what the whistle will just transport you to the nearest Flight Master, so you can then grab the flight. You can just fly from there to another flight point. That's not going to work anymore, and Blizzard's saying the zones are too small. There's no real point in using the Flight Master's whistle. That's a little annoying, but I'll deal with it.
Yeah, you'll work.
And of course, there's going to be new mounts. There's going to be new transmog items. Transmog items are like cosmetic-looking items.
Huh.
It's not about armor or strength or anything like that. It's about how you look. That's something that I should explain to you.
Huh.
Looking good in Warcraft is actually a thing.
Wait, like fashionably good or?
Yes. They actually have an event that comes up every once in a while called the Trial of Style.
The Trial
where you
of Style.
actually go up and you vamp your look.
You're kidding me, right?
No. You vamp your look to everybody else. And you get and then they vote on who's the best looking.
So you're pretty much doing a runway show.
Yes, you are.
Oh my god, you better work.
I just wish, because I don't usually have chat on, like I don't have global chat on, because people say some stupid things.
Of course.
But I live for the day that one day I do that, and I see someone dressed as a night elf walking up to the stage and saying, Miss Vanjie, Miss Vanjie, please play that.
Sashay away.
Miss Vanjie, Miss Vanjie, Miss Vanjie. Work, sister!
My god, where are you?
I want to see that.
Why?
My mind is a useless trove of pop culture references.
No. I can see this. I know this. This is nothing new to me. Nothing.
So
new.
Yes. So there is going to be more cosmetic stuff. They're going to add more floors to Torghast, which is basically the World of Warcraft's answer to Diablo's Rifts. Just basically how far how many floors can you get to? Can you get to the top? Okay, you got to the top, you get something special. There's going to be the other things. Another season of PvP, which I am not into. I'm sorry. They're going to have more Mythic Plus affixes. Mythic Plus is like basically, you know how you finish a game and they give you New Game Plus?
Yeah.
Where you have all your abilities, but shit gets harder.
Yes, I know.
So and when World of Warcraft Mythic Plus 15 is a thing.
Oh.
And the final thing is when it's going to come out, and we don't know.
Jesus, man.
We don't know, and part of it is it's tied to a system called Renown that's new to Shadowlands, where you raise your Renown levels and you get, perks with your Covenant.
Okay.
Right now we can only, Renown 40 is the highest you'll be able to achieve before 9.1, and that's not coming out till the week of March 9th. So a couple of weeks from now. After that, we'll be looking to see when 9.1 drops.
All right, all right.
I didn't even tell you the name of this of 9.1, which is Chains of Domination.
Chains of why?
Because listen, they gotta give names to everything.
No, I can see that. Like everything has a name for almost everything, and almost all the names are complex. I'm here like
No,
Jesus.
listen. If you thought the Lich King was pretty cool, and then you heard that his real name was Arthas Menethil, like Arthur, that sounds very old English. They all sound like that. And I hadn't even started talking about elves. Well, I did say Kelthis, but
Okay.
yes, the dwarven names and the elven names.
Yeah.
There's a lot of apostrophes in those. Same thing for trolls. But anyway,
Okay.
that's WoW proper, the main WoW. There was also news about WoW Classic.
Oh.
WoW Classic, since you don't know, is Blizzard's way of saving old school fans who always think the original Warcraft is better and all that shit that's been added since then has sucked. Well, there is a fork for them. It's called WoW Classic, which was just vanilla WoW. Now they're going to introduce their first expansion. That was not a surprise. The first expansion after came out for WoW was the Burning Crusade, and the Burning Crusade will be added to WoW Classic. One thing I think is cool is that they're giving people the option on whether or not they want to expand. EverQuest is another MMO, and they have a thing where you can decide what level, like if you want to just stay in the vanilla game or if you want to go up to a certain expansion and stay there. So they give people options as to how whether or not they want to progress.
Okay.
WoW is going to do the same thing, so they're going to allow people that want to stay in vanilla to stay in vanilla, and then whoever wants to jump up to Burning Crusade can do so. That's cool. And yeah, Burning Crusade is, many people say it was the best expansion. I personally like the one that followed Wrath of the Lich King. Like, again, the Lich King, you know who the Lich King is.
Of course.
That's it. That's the thing. In WoW, you don't know anything. You don't know who the Dark Iron Dwarves are. You don't know the dragon aspects, but everybody knows the Lich King.
No. That name, I heard it by far everywhere. So
Yes.
I cannot really mistake that guy.
The Lich King is WoW's version of Baby Yoda in Star Wars.
Oh.
You might not know who Bo-Katan is, but you fucking know who Baby Yoda is.
It's just because reasons.
Yeah, I would say that was the most information that was dropped in all of BlizzCon, because WoW's still a big game, and any updates to it is going to get a lot of scrutiny.
I see.
That's the ones you're going to hear the most of. Now, next on the list, Overwatch. This one you may find interesting. How much did you like Overwatch when you played it?
Oh, I loved it. It was actually super fun. But then it just got kind of like repetitive and kind of a little boring. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done.
Okay. Because Overwatch was, at its core, just a PvP hero shooter.
Yes.
Right. Well, they're adding a lot more things in Overwatch 2.
Really?
All you have to know is PvE.
PvE?
You're not familiar with the concept. PvP is player versus player.
Okay.
PvE is player versus environment.
Wait, what?
Meaning that there will
mean?
be a solo campaign.
Huh.
So there will actually be a story that you get to play through. And it'll have like a typical story mode. It'll have cutscenes that'll get you through each mission. And they had, and from what I'm seeing, the story mode will be on custom maps. It won't be on the regular maps
Okay.
that you play in. I mean, some of them will bleed in, but you see a lot of custom shit.
Okay. Just out of curiosity now, these custom maps and all this, will this be considered like an effective part 2 for this game, or is it like a 1.5 for
No, it's
Overwatch?
a proper part 2.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be because the first Overwatch was basically the remnants of the first Omnic Uprising.
Okay.
Again, we're getting to lore, and this one's talking about whoever it is that's behind the second Uprising.
Oh.
So it's a
Okay.
progression. It's a continuation.
All right. Okay. That sounds pretty cool.
And
All right.
along with the campaign, there's going to be actual hero progression, like proper hero progression.
Oh.
Like, you know that in Overwatch, yeah, you gain levels, but all you really do is, oh, I gain a level, great, I get another loot box.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off a lot about the game. So I was like, okay, fine. I get a new skin, a new paint, and that's it. So
Yeah,
it's
you're
just kind of like boring.
most likely new sprays.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean they got a little more like generous with the skins over time, but Jesus. Well, you're actually progressing characters
Oh.
with Overwatch 2. Meaning
So
that your
is-
hero
Uh-huh.
will not only gain level, but they'll have talent trees.
Well, damn.
Like, for example, my main, Soldier 76,
Okay.
because I'm a shit player who plays shitty. He has his own trees, separate from the other characters. And they're based on basically like what World of Warcraft would players would know as specs. He actually has 3 specs. He has one for commander, one for rifleman, and one for vigilante.
Oh.
Reinhardt has his own, which are Crusader, Juggernaut, and Guardian.
Nice.
And you're not stuck to just that one tree. So, like, say I want to be a commander as Soldier 76, but I might like a certain ability as Rifleman, I can go and grab from there. So you can customize your character more than just cosmetically.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
That's actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's really freaking dope that they're gonna be doing something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And of course, there's going to be, you know, changes to the way they look and stuff like that. And there's also going to be a thing called hero missions, which I see it, and you know what I think of. And remember Tekken 3 on the PS1?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember how they had their own little challenge mode,
Yes.
which is a big map of shit that you unlocked stuff on?
Yeah, I remember.
That's what it reminds me of.
Huh. Okay.
But this is co-op. And this is supposed to be a way to prevent the game from getting stale. That was the
That's
biggest complaint
perfect.
that many people had with the original Overwatch. All you do is get on a team and shoot the other team in the face. And the one who got shot most lost. This one actually is going to have more variety in what you can play, which means that there'll be less burnout.
That's good. I'm actually looking forward to that then.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Well,
my
definitely.
nephew, like I've said before, is really good at Overwatch. That was the only thing he cared about. And I left him that night. That night when they were showing the Overwatch stuff,
Yeah.
I left him in my room because I had to go do stuff.
Of course.
And he digested all of it.
Oh my god.
And he's happy.
I'm glad.
And of course, there's more than just that. There's a new character. This one is the character's called Sojourn. And Sojourn has a railgun. So she's supposed to be a damage class, but you're supposed to be a little more accurate with what she does, because being a railgun, You can, and this is a quote, okay, can, quote, rip through enemy health bars,
Us.
but it requires more accuracy.
Oh, so you really had to be a pinpoint shot on this, and
Which means I'm never going to play as her.
I think you do fine. If you could do Soldier 76, you can do her.
Listen, I play Soldier 76 because I'm a terrible player that plays terribly. But they are going to tweak a bunch of other things. Like they're taking tank characters and not resorting them to just being bullet sponges.
Good.
Like they're looking at the possibility of tanks being able to be better melee fighters. And they're talking about quick melee attacks as well. So there's going to be some tweaking. You know how it is with newer games that are competitive. They want to make sure that they keep some sort of balance, but they also want to give people something different that'll get them back into the game.
It's gonna be fun. I mean, to be honest, I really want to get back into it. I loved Overwatch, but then it just came to a point where I got a little bored of it. A little like, okay, all right, it's the same thing all over again. I'll play as Junkrat, and I was like, okay, I'm bored. Like I just don't want to play anymore. So it just got to that point where it just got tiring. It's a fun game, don't get me wrong, but I wanted more changes. But now with part 2 coming around, I'm actually looking forward to it. So, and maybe who knows, like that might be even the tip of the iceberg. So who knows if they're gonna add more stuff along the line, even from whatever they just presented in BlizzCon.
No, I mean these games are years out. They're not coming out anytime soon. 9.1 for WoW, yes, that's going to be coming out soon. But Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2, those are long-term games. Those are games where they're exploring concepts, they're messing around and talking about things, but nothing is, okay, this is all you're going to see, and it's going to come out next week. Mm. No, they're still playing around with, NPCs. They're playing around with more varied enemies, because now it's not just your team against the other team. You got to have NPCs and you got to have enemies. So they're playing around with that. They're playing around with little changes here and there, not just cosmetic, but actual gameplay. And whatever it ends up with, it's going to be a while away. So they have time to experiment.
I can't wait.
I've looked at some of the enemies, and they look interesting. Matter of fact, I don't know. Well, you haven't seen it, but I saw one character that's called Puller.
Puller,
which is basically it's a female character that has the I would say like Resident Evil style. Like the what's her name? I forgot her name. The 10-foot tall woman.
Oh, her. Yes.
With her claws coming out.
Yeah.
Well, she has those, but she also has 2 really long braids that end in claws.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna hurt you.
And I'm sure you're playing it now. You see that your character, she grabs them from long distance with those bladed braids, pulls them towards her where she can just cleave them.
Oh, because fair.
Because the only thing that's missing from your hero shooter is fucking horror.
But I'm okay with a little horror. I'm a little okay with that.
That's Overwatch 2. Nice. And they did iterate that as far as heroes are concerned, any heroes that come out in Overwatch 2 will be available in Overwatch as well. So people who still want to play Overwatch can have, the new character Sojourn as part of the roster. There's a lot of characters, by the way. Like I fell off Overwatch a while ago. Huh?
They added more characters though.
Oh yeah, over the years they've added more. Like I fell off years ago.
Yeah. And
my nephew picked it up, and I was watching him play, and I'm like, "Who's that old-looking dude? wait, who's that woman? What the hell is that?" So yeah, they've been busy. We haven't been paying attention, but they've been busy.
I gotta keep an eye on them then. Because now you're saying things like that. Now I'm kind of like, you know what? Let me get back into it. Hopefully, and probably see if I can put on my PS5 and play a little bit.
Let me know. I'll jump in.
Oh, I'm down then.
I mean, I'll be just as horrible, but it'll be like the old days.
Trust
Maybe
me.
we can get Lou back in.
Trust me. I think we'll be perfectly fine.
In other words, terrible.
Yes.
Oh, you'll be better than me.
Oh, we'll see.
At the very least, they don't let you pick your load out, so I don't have to worry about you picking Junkrat and deciding, oh, you know what? I want a shotgun.
Stop. I mean, I wish that'd be kind of cool.
You
But-
would do it. That's why I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I know I would. I'm like
Psychopath.
throwing bombs or a shotty. Yeah, let's get that gun.
Oh, I want to play as Diva, but can I have the dagger?
Oh God, it's horrible. You're horrible.
You have a mech. Yeah, but I really want a dagger.
Yeah, just a stab.
Yeah, you know what? It would be nice if Overwatch allowed you to do that. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Go shine, you crazy diamond.
Go ahead, polish that turd. Have fun.
Yeah. You go ahead and ride. You go and ride at that three-legged horse. See how far it gets you.
I love it.
So that's Overwatch. And past that, there was news for Hearthstone.
Okay.
They have a new, now it's the theme. And last year was the year of the Phoenix. This year is going to be the year of the Griffin.
Yeah.
And they're going to be adding a bunch of stuff to that. I fell off Hearthstone hard.
Oof.
Like, I played it when it first came out and everything was great, but the moment I saw that, it started becoming more pay to win. Because you gotta buy cards, and I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm done. I have enough habits. Like, I have enough really bad vices with alcohol and video game collecting. I don't need another one.
Nah, you don't need all that.
That ain't enough that I have to keep talking myself out of setting up a server rack. We've talked about that.
Here's my main question I want to ask you. How do you feel about Blizzard's arcade collection?
You know what? They talked about that. I'm sorry I didn't bring it up.
That's okay.
I got it.
Oh, you
got
already
it
have it.
because
Okay.
because if you pay, I forgot what they called it, but they have like every year when BlizzCon was regular in person. For people that watched online, you can buy in, and if you bought in at certain price points, you can get, certain cosmetic things for your games. Since I'm a pet whore in World of Warcraft, I bought in with the pack that came with a pet. I think that was the lowest tier. So yes, I did buy it. Call me whatever the fuck you want. It's probably acceptable.
Okay.
But as a bonus, they gave people who bought into one of those packs immediate access at the end of the show to the arcade collection. And the arcade collection is a unique piece of history. You would like it because it comes with 3 games. And one of them is one that I know is very near and dear to you.
Of course.
That is the Lost Vikings.
Oh my God. I love it. I was like,
Lost Vikings is there.
Game.
So are Rock and Roll Racing,
Yes.
which is a pretty good racing game.
Looks pretty dope. I like it. Yeah.
And Blackthorn, which is the most attitude-based shooter you'll ever play.
From the looks of it, I thought it was like, it kind of reminded me of Contra a little bit.
No, this is not Contra. This is not this is not fast-paced, a Twitch shooting. No. This is a guy with a mullet, shades, and a wife beater, and he has a sawed-off shotgun that he shoots behind his back. So this is like, imagine if Roddy Piper was a gun nut. That's what you get.
That is nuts. I want it.
It's there. Like these 3 games were available on the Super NES back when Blizzard wasn't their own thing, and they used to develop games for Mindscape. And they're all solid games. I don't have to talk to you about Lost Vikings. You already know that one.
Of course.
But the other 2 are just as fun. And yeah, it's something that you want to get, like a quick nostalgia fix.
Yeah.
That one will do it for you.
Like it.
And they absolutely ignored Heroes of the Storm. which, makes me understand more and more that they don't give a fuck about the game anymore.
Zero fucks. Just all the way
Like,
up there.
okay, every once in a while they'll throw some new tat in, like one of the collections that you could buy into, one of the for Blizzconline gave you Tracer's bike in Heroes of the Storm, which cute. But yeah, I mean, from having its own event being televised on ESPN to being basically, oh yeah, this thing, we still have it. That's the thing that worries me about Blizzard, because the old company that used to be like the pinnacle of gaming for PC,
Yeah.
that shit died years ago. Activision bought it and has been slowly and surely bleeding it out, making it conform more to the way Activision does shit. And yeah, okay, Heroes of the Storm is a free-to-play game. But when the whole esports thing started, they were really making a push to make Heroes of the Storm a thing. But they've just given up. Now they're just mad that they didn't get to license Dota. Dota, by the way, was theirs. Did you know that?
Yeah. No, I had no idea.
Dota stands for Defense of the Ancients, and it's essentially a Warcraft 3 map.
Okay.
So Valve went and made Dota a thing. Now Dota's theirs. That's why when Warcraft 3 Reforged came out, they added a thing in the EULA saying, oh yeah, anything that you make, any custom map that you create, that's ours now. Because they didn't want nobody else cashing in on something they made.
Yeah.
Because Activision.
Fuck Activision.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the lesson that we learned today is fuck Activision.
Yeah, technically.
For
we
always
went from
and
Blizzard
forever.
to fuck Activision.
Like they may do good things every once in a while. Like, Burnout Paradise remastered, and they're gonna do Need for Speed Most Wanted now as remastered. And yeah, Crash and Tony Hawk were good remasters too. But never forget that Activision is a fucking piece of shit company that does not give a shit about you and will do everything possible to extract every dollar out of you, which they will not give to their employees because they keep laying the fuck people off.
I mean, the amount of hate is right there.
I mean, I don't know if you can tell.
Nah.
But yeah, that was Blizzconline. A lot of information. A lot of good information.
Definitely. A lot of great information, actually. And a lot of knowledge that we just got fed with thanks to Uncle Willy.
That was a very, very top level discussion. I really didn't want to get into World of Warcraft anymore because you would cry.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure of it. But I'm sure if anybody does have any questions about BlizzCon or just about anything that we talked about or maybe missed, please comment down below. We will love to hear your thoughts, questions of anything that has to do with BlizzCon, and Willie and I will be technically waiting on standby until that moment comes up.
I will be my ever-present cynic the entire time, wanting Diablo 2 Resurrected to come out and wanting it to be perfect, and knowing that somehow, some way, Activision's gonna fuck it up.
I'm praying that they won't. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for listening to us today on this special episode of Miami Geeks BlizzCon edition. And as always, this segment was brought to you by D2D. Use promo code MIAGeeks10 to save 10% on your next purchase order. That's MIAGEEKS10. All in caps, description down below. And again, guys, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just to know what comes with this amazing news, which is 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Peace.
Ah.